Hi there, we're here today with Hilary Hale talking a little bit about interior design, the process, and all the fun that goes along with that.
Yay!
Totally. So tell us a little bit about you and what you do.
So I have been in business for about 6 years, work completely by myself. I do all types of design. So I work closely with contractors and architects, but mostly do interior design, picking out tile, helping with layout, fabrics, wallpapers, paint colors, all the things that...
Nice. All the fun stuff.
All the fun stuff.
Tell us a little bit about your eye for design. Was it there? Did you have to train it?
A little bit of both. So growing up, I always would rearrange my room. And I had like the Kurt Cameron posters and like Michael Jordan posters.
Yes.
And
the very rare bed.
Yeah, and I always moved my bed around. I just had a twin bed, but I would move it in every possible corner and drive my mom crazy. But my husband and I move around a lot, so I really started dabbling in interior design with my own properties. And then he got tired of me spending just his money and was like, "Why don't you go spend other people's money?" So
what a great idea!
That's kind of how it started. Yeah.
I have this idea.
Exactly.
How about?
How about I use your money and get it in your house? So. That's how it started. I didn't go to design school. I'm a certified interior decorator, but I've done enough remodeling and worked closely with architects and contractors to feel like, have a pretty good grasp on the whole process.
That's awesome.
And how long have you been doing it? 6 years, you said?
6 years.
Like officially?
As a business.
But how many times have you moved and done your?
We've had 12 homes, and I've remodeled 9 of them.
You beat me.
Yeah.
That's more than me. Yeah, that's
My poor
impressive.
kids, they've lived in like 9 houses and they're 12 years old, so. Sorry, kids.
Yeah.
Everyone needs therapy. So.
Yeah.
And if that's the only topic, it'll be short-lived.
They're winning.
Yeah, they're totally fine. So tell us a little bit about some of the projects that you've completed.
So I mainly do residential projects, and I do some commercial, but not very often. And I have another house actually that I did in OPA or Orange Park Acres recently that I can show you some before and afters. But it was a major remodel, a large, over 8,000 square foot home. We did every square inch of that house and took it from literally 1982 to
straight Laura Ashley.
Lots of wallpaper, green, red carpet,
The green carpet.
everything you can picture from the 80s was there. And so I do a lot of those similar type projects. Sometimes I do just kitchens or just bathrooms, but
So all the way.
a lot of
from
times
a
I'm
little
working
bit.
on a whole house.
Yeah. I have to say that before and after is probably like one of the best I've ever seen.
I seem to snag those kinds of projects. I think it's the area we work in. Orange Park Acres, North Tustin. This is an old ranch style homes and big 2-story, 8,000 square foot homes that need a lot of work. So.
And I think like your client, like John on that one, I think his vision, like the way that you were able to make his vision come all the way around, I think that was, a whole lot of work, but it was pretty amazing though.
Because
and I think even all those little details for that big of a house, he'll be so happy to hear this. His 8,000 square feet or whatever that crazy number is. That's a lot of area, a lot of details.
Yes. And a lot of change. It was a really dark, wooded house.
Yeah.
Which really, it was cool. It just looked like it belonged in Lake Tahoe or something.
Yes, completely.
Not in the sunny Southern California.
No. It's so awesome. It's so much better.
Thank you.
So tell us a little bit about the design process and then a little bit about it specifically for this Orange Park Acres remodel that we're talking about.
So I approach every project in a very similar way. I usually have I sit down with my clients obviously and talk about their goals and what they're trying to accomplish with the remodel. And then I also try to set up a collaborative Pinterest board or something where we can start pinning and sharing ideas for their specific project. Sometimes that can get me into a little bit of trouble because people envision this like gorgeous white space and then they tell me they have kids and 12 dogs and they need dark furniture, and I'm like, okay, well, that vision's not going to really take place, but it opens the door for a conversation. And so I like to start there and see what they're really drawn to. And then from there, I put together, similar to this, just boards of their specific spaces, and start gathering samples like this that we can touch and feel and see, and then we start placing orders, and it just kind of goes from there.
So you're putting boards together back and forth, right? Like once you put something together, are they like
we do revisions?
editing? Yeah.
Yes, we definitely do revisions. So I usually put out, my vision for the space, and then whatever the feedback is, we change the boards around. Again, ordering samples. Sometimes I order a rug sample and the colors are off, so we start from scratch, and it's just a little bit of a, could be anywhere from 2 weeks to 2 months of back and forth until orders start flowing.
So tell us a little bit about the project you're currently working on, Orange Park Acres.
So Orange Park Acres started out as a fairly simple remodel.
Now, let the disclaimer be that John is a general contractor, which is how it just keeps going.
And he has really refined taste. So,
and his
things
vision
that were
is very
supposed to be
good.
simple turned into more elaborate. But it could be so much cooler if we did this.
Yes.
And putting the two of us together on a project is probably always a bad idea because, I kept saying like, here's my vision, but if it's too expensive, he's like, no, I like it. So
great. $2 million later,
it just sort of
we have a
exploded
$6 million place to sell you.
Yeah, exactly. And it's changed so much from our original vision to becoming a much more modern home. It's just a smart home, and I want to move in. I'm like, I think I'm just gonna sell my house for the millionth time.
What's wrong with 13?
Yeah, what's wrong? That's a good number, right? So anyway, since then we have expanded. We've added. We've changed. We've had structural things. We've made the house much more structurally sound. I think they even switched to metal framing recently because of the prices of lumber and the fact that you can't get it. And so it's a pretty cool contemporary house in OPA.
Yes.
Nothing like it.
No, absolutely not.
Isn't.
No.
There definitely is
And
not.
I think the I was there the other day, and the tech guy was there talking about
All the wiring.
Yes.
And the amount of lighting,
Crazy.
can lighting, and they're not doing just regular can lights.
Yeah.
They're like,
and all the infrastructure for anything you could possibly want from a technology standpoint. Is
Alexa can run the whole house.
Yes.
Yeah,
and the gate.
And the gate, and probably the sprinklers. and
Totally.
everything else. Oh, we don't
Probably
need
clean the
sprinklers because
kitchen,
they're
no.
doing synthetic grass. So
Turf.
yeah, it's a smart home, and
Green.
economically,
No.
not gonna cost.
I don't know green, but
It will be very green, and
Right?
there's a lot of lawn there.
right.
That kind of green. So I can show you what I'm working on for the kitchen.
Okay.
Using a more contemporary cabinet.
Oh, okay.
So we are doing a wood finish on the perimeter, and then our island is going to be a matte white finished cabinet.
Oh.
And
that center island is enormous.
it's a 10-foot long island
Yeah.
by, I believe, we're at 3.5 feet wide. We're going to do a waterfall finish with
That's really nice.
like a matte. Everything's in the matte. Matte is the newest.
Yeah.
There's no
That's-
fingerprints,
Yeah.
and it's just really clean. That house has
Almost
the bifold doors, so when you're in the kitchen and facing out towards the front of the house, the whole wall will open.
Yeah.
And we ran a gas line so they can do a fire pit out there or have any kind of outdoor dining space. It's going to be amazing.
Yeah,
This
sounds
is
awesome.
So there are 4 full bathrooms
Uh-huh.
and a powder bath. So I got to have a lot of fun with tile in that space. We're doing this tile on the entire wall, all the way up to the ceiling.
Amazing.
And then it's going to run all the way down into the shower floor. Same tile.
Cool.
The shower floor is the same.
Yeah,
No,
so it's going to
great,
come all
okay.
the way down, and then it's really cool. It looks
So
like
that
wood.
entire, like you walk in, that entire wall is tile.
Yes, where they have like some triangular windows that we put up there, and then so when you walk into the master bathroom, it's going to be a feature wall of tile. Neutral colors. Actually, the flooring is very similar to that countertop. It's like it's a porcelain, but it looks like a marble. We're doing some built-ins in there for linen storage. They had like this awkward little niche that was there, and I'm like, okay, that's a great place to put all the towels.
Yeah.
A standalone bathtub,
Right.
double vanity. It's a huge space.
It's a very
This
large
bathroom
space.
was probably the most challenging thing we had to design.
Yeah.
It was a
Is
big
it
room.
awkward?
It wasn't faced the way we wanted it to face. We had some structural constraints that we couldn't, remove walls and move things. So, yeah, this was our biggest,
Yeah.
had to put all the heads together.
But I like the
Space.
tile, the whole wall.
I love it.
Yeah, I think that's gonna be really
Yeah.
The powder room we're doing, it's a
This is off the
tiny
kitchen.
space. This is off the kitchen. So this was one of I had to put my foot down.
Yes.
I'm working with a lot of men, and
Yes.
I'm like, you need to have a powder
Yes.
room because nobody wants to go into a kid's bathroom
No.
when they're a guest. So we were able to carve out enough space to it's literally just a powder room. Because it's so small, I wanted to do a feature wall with
Yeah.
tile, so we're doing floor to ceiling textural tile. The garage was
Yeah.
detached, or is detached originally. We added the attached garage, and in there is the laundry room and another full bath, which is nice because the house is sort of divided. You have you have kind of two living spaces on either side of the ranch,
Yeah.
and
No, this will be nice to come in from the outside, I think.
yes, and if I ever have pool
Yeah.
or something,
Yeah.
it's a nice little space. Kids' bathroom, I just did a black and white theme. Some really fun tile in there.
I like the floor.
Hard to see the white tile, but this is a picket tile. It's one of my favorites.
Tell us a little bit about challenges with this, with OPA, and then also like in general, like how do people struggle from a design standpoint? Like what are the biggest mistakes they're making?
I think our challenge with this property was that it was supposed to be a quick turnaround,
Yes.
and because of the structural changes and things that we did, there's been a lot of delays. And in general, with the COVID backlash of
Yes.
delays, I think all my projects are experiencing that pain. But I would say the biggest challenge on this project was the structural stuff. It was just making sure the additions we were doing and the big windows we were putting in were going to be structurally supported. So that took the longest amount of time. And from a design standpoint, working with John is really easy. He's
Sure.
just a yes man. So I have so much fun on those projects because he doesn't really change
And it's
much.
not too personal, right? Like he's, at least for this one, like
yeah,
it's
he
not
just
his
trusts,
bathroom.
He trusts
Yeah.
what I'm doing, and it makes it a lot more fun for me to just cruise and get it done.
Yeah.
In general, with my other projects, there's usually a lot more back and forth,
Sure.
and you really have to get to know your clients and their personality in order to make it their home and not your own home.
Right.
So it's easy for me to just design anything as if I'm going to live there, but pulling in their personalities and their particular tastes is always the challenge, and then getting things on time today is near impossible. A lot of delays.
Yeah. And how about mistakes people make? Like what do you see and you're like, don't do it?
From my standpoint, I think a lot of people are too conservative with their design. So people are really afraid to try color, they're afraid to try texture. They see images that they love, but then when they see the actual material itself, they're like, it's too busy, or I think I should just stick with a basic subway. And so I think that's a big mistake in design, and I think it's where designers can really come in and help
Put it
elevate
together.
the whole project. I think lighting too is another area that people make a big mistake. They use lighting that's too small or not the right scale. Again, people are afraid. They think it's going to be too big.
Yeah.
And almost always it's not.
Yeah.
I'm like, just trust me.
Interesting, yeah.
So I think those would be the biggest things, is just be playing it too safe.
Yeah.
And then gray. Gray is no more gray. No more gray.
Put that out there in the world.
Yeah.
You can have
It's
a little
over.
bit.
It's
but not
over.
Yeah.
It's
floor,
over.
walls,
It's
everything.
over.
Yeah. So I have those conversations a lot too.
That's so the other day. I think I'm just gonna paint everything gray, and I was like, please don't.
Yeah.
Please don't. Please don't.
Yeah.
Please don't.
Sand,
I know I don't know.
neutral
anything.
tones.
Yeah, just go white.
Yeah.
You think white? I'm like, yeah. What kind of white? Any of them.
Yeah.
Any of them that are not gray.
Any of them that are not gray.
But it's hard to tell people that though. I think
Well,
'cause
trends
they're
take a
watching-
while to catch on
Yeah.
for people
and
that aren't
leave
hiring
and
professionals.
leave and to leave.
And to leave, yes. Yeah, I think white kitchens are here to stay. I think, touches of gray are fine.
Yeah.
But I mean, black and white, a black and white theme is never going to go anywhere.
Right.
That's
It's
always
timeless.
a safe place to start.
Yeah.
But yeah, adding those touches of colors, and I always tell my clients to use neutral earth tones.
Yeah.
Green is an earth tone. It's everywhere. It's outside. It's a normal
It's happening.
color.
It's happening.
It's not a scary color. Yeah.
Thank you so much for chatting with us. We'll
Yeah, of
walk
course.
you through the project and you can kind of see as it's happening, and then we'll go back and see the finished project.
Thank you so much.
Thanks for having me.